In this video we're looking at drawing an ellipse when we are given the major axis and a point on the curve. We don't have the length of the minor axis, we do not have the position for the focal points, nor can we find it at the moment. So all we have is a point on the curve, point P, and the length of our major axis. So for this we need to use the concentric circles method, or a variation of it. To do that, let's draw the information that we currently have. So we have the length of the major axis, which means I can draw my major auxiliary circle. I don't have the minor axis, so I can't draw the minor auxiliary circle, nor can I find focal points. So what I need to do now is I'm going to try use the reverse auxiliary circles method to locate the minor axis, the minor auxiliary circle. So from a previous video we drew an ellipse using the concentric circles method, and for that I said when we were taking a point we'd have a line coming out through here, so I'll draw it on this side. So a line coming out along here where it cuts the circle, the line cuts the specific circle, you go perpendicular to that axis. So this cuts the major auxiliary circle, so I'll go perpendicular to the major axis. So my point would be somewhere out along here. If I had the minor axis and it cuts it there, I'd be perpendicular. That would give me a point over there. Here we don't have that, so what I need to do instead is I'm going to go from this point, take my line as if it was perpendicular to the minor axis. So if this is point P, I'm going to go from point P perpendicular to the major axis, because I have the major auxiliary circle, so let's go perpendicular to the major axis. That gives me a point on the major auxiliary circle, just like this one over here. So if I'm now to join that point back to the center, that is my line at 36 degree, or whatever line that you want. I know from here that my minor axis is somewhere along this line. So if I go perpendicular to that now from point P, that there is a point on the minor auxiliary circle. So what I can do is from that point now, set my radius to that distance, and this gives me my minor auxiliary circle. From there I can draw the rest of the ellipse using the concentric circles method. So what I did, just a quick recap. I had point P and I had my major axis. I drew the major auxiliary circle, and from point P I went perpendicular to the major axis. I drew a line perpendicular to the major axis out this way until such time as I cut the major auxiliary circle. Just like reverse of what I do for the concentric circles method. From that point on the major auxiliary circle, I join that line back to the center of and from point P, again, this would be the point that I would normally come perpendicular to the minor axis from, giving me point P. So I'm going to do that in reverse this time. So if I go this way, from point P perpendicular to the minor axis, where that intersects this line, gives me the point on the minor auxiliary circle.